Well, it's been quite a while since I posted any videos on the Wishbone frame build, and I think this is going to be episode number 19. And when I reported last time, when it was sitting on the back of the pickup truck, it was headed off to welding, and that was before the end of the year last year. Got tied up in a car trade in December and January, which has taken a lot of time. Those of you who saw my blue 1932 coupe hot rod placed elsewhere on my channel, that car got traded for a 1955 Nomad. And I've posted 2 videos about the Nomad. That's going to be a project for me for the short term, trying to get that ready to turn over to the body shop. But anyway, I did get the frame welded, and here's the report of what happened and, more importantly, what didn't happen. So you can see the neck is all welded in, the backbone, the stress tube is fully welded in, upper frame rails are welded in, we got that welded in. Axle plates. Now I haven't installed the fender cross brace yet. That's something yet to do. Sidecar loops. Okay. Well, I tried to put a 1967 generator shovel head motor in this thing, and I was originally thinking I might have had like a crankcase issue. That particular motor is a set of matched up crankcases, meaning non-matching belly numbers, kind of an engine. And I noticed that the machining was slightly different on the engine pads on the bottom. So I cleaned that up and then thought that that would allow the motor to drop down in. But what's plaguing me now is, you can see that shiny spot on the sidecar loop. That actually is where the front part of the crankcase, where the generator bolts on, that's rubbing on the sidecar loop. Now, back in the old days, I think people would have just taken a grinder out and cleaned off the back of the sidecar loop, or maybe buzzed a little bit off the front of their crankcases, but it's 2024. We should be doing better. So here's what I think happened is, when we did the welding at the sidecar loops, we had all this bolted together here. And then when the whole bottom got welded together, that plate was taken off, and then we proceeded doing the welding at the top. So I think what's going on is all of the welding involved with the sidecar loops, and then all of the welding that was involved up in the neck area. See if I can do this. When you put a straight edge on the front down tubes, they are curved in a little bit like this. And I think what happened is that the neck sunk down a little bit, and maybe the sidecar loops pulled back a little bit. So I think what we're going to do is, somehow we're going to get a porta power on this thing, probably brace it up here, which is really strong, and then maybe come with a plate across here, and we're going to push out, and that's going to push the neck back up and push the sidecar loops out. This thing just has to go out just like 3/32 of an inch. It's ridiculous to be that close and not be able to get the piece in. I basically need to, I'm going to have to borrow my buddy's heavy steel plate. I want to put that plate back in, bolt it up just as tight as we can, and that way we're not affecting this distance. Again, for as far as I can push in the motor, it sits on the pads nice. I was checking my little angle finder here today. I still have the same angle here and the same angle here. I do have a little screwdriver. This corner of the frame is up just a little bit, but I think I'm okay from here to here and back through the transmission plate. So, the guy that welded the frame for it, he's out of town for a couple weeks, and so we're not going to be able to do this. So the next update will be what happened when we put the old porta power on it and did it fix the problem. So as always, like, share, comment, subscribe. And if anybody has any advice, I'm certainly open to that. So that's the latest on the Wishbone frame build. Thanks.